Hi, this is Ron Davis for the National Burglar and Fire Alarm Association, and we're sitting here with Scott Wulforst. And Scott is now part of the Stanley family, but the reason he's sitting here today is because he's part of the Wulforst family. And Wulforst is a very, very good name in the alarm industry. Bud Wulforst is now the president of the Central Station Alarm Association. Scott's his son, and Bud sold the company a little while ago, and we understand that you went with it, and by the fact that you're here and with the company, I assume everything's going well. But I'd like to ask you a few questions about what it was like when you were working with your dad. Okay?
Sure. Yes, sir.
First of all, working in a family, you have a brother who was also involved in the business. I don't think there were any other siblings, were there?
No, not at that time.
Okay.
No.
And your mom was involved in the business for a while, Lori, and your dad had been known to be a fairly driven individual and made sure that certain things were happening. What was that whole thing like? What was it like growing up in an alarm industry family?
When I had entered the business, it was, basically all hands on deck, starting from the bottom, installation, central station, basically I wouldn't say groomed, but getting a taste of each piece. Working with my dad, he treated each and every one of us just like any other employee. So we did not get any levels of perks as being the boss's son or daughter, but it was, you needed to put your time in and you need to work.
Now, at this stage of your life, do you feel prepared for whatever comes in the future in the alarm industry? Was this good preparation?
Sure, I think so. We had to earn our keep just like any other individual. And I think with Bud, we learned a different way to manage, a different way to run a company, a different way to look at the business. Mm-hmm. You know, it definitely, when I look at it and say, well, if I'm going to go out on my own, or if I'm working for another company, maybe I have that opportunity to spin it a little differently.
And you chose to stay on with the company that bought the company your father built out. Yep. And it's been almost a year now, if I'm not mistaken. And you're still here, so I have to assume that the relationship has worked out well. Mm-hmm. And do you feel that you were prepared in everything that you did for the job that you had with the new company, where the Wulforst name didn't really matter all that much?
Absolutely. I think we've gone through numerous acquisitions. I'd have to say the Stanley acquisition of A1 was very well done. They gave us extremely numerous amounts of autonomy to stay whole as a business and integrate us into their structure. I think they respected the way we did business, and then allowed us to perform the day-to-day business that we would normally do, every day.
When you decided to stay with the company, had you committed for a period of time, or did you just sign on and say, I think this is what I want to do, and let's see how it works out? Or how did you feel about it?
Yeah, when Bud had told us about the acquisition, we obviously weren't shocked. Mm-hmm. This happened within our family before. But, Stanley was very, very good to us in the sense that they didn't make Bud tie us to the acquisition. It wasn't anything like that. They came in and they interviewed a numerous amount of employees just to say, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay on? Do you want to continue with us? And they were just great about it.
And I would imagine extremely professional in that. They're a first-class team.
They absolutely are.
Tell me if you were advising somebody in another family working in the alarm industry who is about to go through an acquisition, what would you advise them to watch out for mentally? I'm not talking about from a business sense, but making the transition from a family to another business.
I think since, again, we've been through it quite a bit, you have to remove the emotional piece. It's business. You know, it's whatever reason you're deciding to sell, or whatever reason your family's deciding to sell is usually best for either the owner, whether that be the mother, the father, whoever, uncle, and it's not your decision. So it's not your business. If I had stake in it, obviously I would have an opinion on it. But in fact, this was my father's business. I worked for him as an employee. So I would say to anybody that was going through it, don't get emotional about it. You were an employee.
If you were to pass on to other young people in the industry the common denominator of what makes a company successful in this industry, what would that be?
Probably hear this a lot, but it is the employees. I think the employees obviously are your true asset as a business. As long as you have employees that are taking care of your client base, I believe you'll be successful, making sure that they know to make the right decisions and give them the autonomy to make the right decisions.
Empower them.
Absolutely.
Okay, Scott Wulforst, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Yep.
Take good care.
Take care.